Hello everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Lee Davis Draws. You'll notice on this particular episode, and quite possibly for forthcoming episodes indefinitely, I have not included my cool little intro, and also the sound quality will be a little less, and video quality likewise, at least for, my beautiful face. This is because this is a way for me to get around video editing, and video editing is it's not a whole lot of work for a video like this where you're not cutting a bunch of scenes, but I do have to sync up the audio, insert the intro, clip the segments where I need to add the outro, and to mix down the file depending on how, like an hour video, an hour and a half video, to save the finalized video file is it takes hours, and just this is more expedient, and I can do videos more often this way. And I tried it out the other day, but of course I made a tremendous error in which I did not correct the little close out this video. So when I went back to look, you couldn't even see me drawing. You just see the top of my head as I looked down at my tablet drawing. So yeah, anyway, let me shut up and let me get that part ready. Okay, so here we are. Let's open Clip Studio Paint, and this is where I'm at right now. This is page 3 of a new comic, and I'm careful about starting new comics. I'll talk to you about what's going on here and where this idea came from and why. It's kind of what I was trying to do with Stagnant Blood Time, which is a 2-issue comic I did where it was just whatever projects. Well, I got a little more inspiration and a little more I got an idea to really make something fly. Is a combination of working with this new laptop plus my Huion tablet and Clip Studio Paint software, and using the Webtoons app to release comics. So, and I'd like to talk at length about how I landed at this, and what motivated me to start this. But first, I'd like to just introduce you. Well, before I get to that, I want to introduce you to this comic. It does, once again, it does not have a title. I was trying to think. No title. It will be a horror comic. If you've ever seen my single issue of Charlotte, I never continued it. It became Door to Death much later, and brought back the side character of Winston to Door to Death. This is very reminiscent of that. I remember I think there was like the normal town on one side, and then there was all this creepy abstract monster stuff over here. And I ended up just kind of doing the same things, same general concept. I mean, no one wanted Charlotte, and obviously I didn't have a big advertising campaign. And so I really don't have a problem it wasn't even intentional. I just realized I was doing the same thing. I got to show the normal side of life and this creepy stuff that's going on, and I might as well put one on one shoulder and one on the other. I guess actually if you look at these two figures right there, you realize maybe even the normal side of her new life in this new town is not it's not 100% normal either. Even in the daylight, things are still pretty off. And as darkness falls, I'm sure more creepy stuff will come out. This character, of course, I am a huge Shelley Duvall fan. I just completely love that actress, and so I did. Shelley, if you're watching, please don't sue me. But I looked up a couple of her pictures just to get an idea for this character. Don't sue me, it's just inspired. So you'll see the teeth and the eyes and the hair. And it was a good inspiration for this character. And you'll notice her hair is all nice and made up here, and I guess you will discover why as we carry on. But let me just catch y'all up. here she is. So to give a setup, if you're curious about the story, we begin in this new day. This is inspired, as many of my stories have been, both published and unpublished. You know, I always started up. I always thought Marion, Virginia, was the perfect place. In that general area, Abingdon, Damascus, just brilliant places for horror stories to happen because they're beautiful and quaint and charming and really kind of out of the way. You know, they're not very big towns or cities. They're way down South 81, getting toward West Virginia, and they're in the mountains. And yeah, once again, kind of beautiful, little kind of gnarly and creepy at the same time. You know, I mean, Marion has the mental institution. That's what they're even known for. I remember talking to a guy who they had a not very, when they went to play against football against the Marion football team, they had some kind of song they'd sing, and it was basically calling everyone in Marion crazy, which, you know, kids do this stuff, and that's not a very nice thing, but people are too sensitive nowadays anyway. If I would like to think I would not partake in that kind of thing if I was rivaling Marion. I love Marion. People are really trying to get their businesses rocking out there. And let me shut up and get back to it. So let's catch up on the story. Yes, see, here's the bus. Here we're introducing, just taking a little ride through the town. About to sneeze. And I saved a couple different here. Sorry, I'll talk about how I format my pages later. Chew, sneezes all over their heads. Now it's funny. Why is she covering her eyes instead of her mouth? Gross. Why did you sneeze all over us? I'm sorry. When I was little, my aunt told me if I sneezed too hard and closed my mouth, my eyeballs might pop out. Out of habit, I still hold my eyes when I sneeze. Oh, nice kids. Oh, I understand. Maybe you could cover your whole face because your snot sure flies out. You're new, right? Where did you move from? My mother and I moved from Kentucky. I thought about Texas because I think that's where Shelley is from, but like I said, I don't want her to sue me, so I didn't. And that brings us to where we are. It says, are you a freshman? Yes, my first class is biology with Mr. Allison. Cool, that's my sister's class too. Yeah, I'm Bambi. I can walk you to class. Sorry, that's my sister's first period class too. Yeah, I'm Bambi. I can walk you to class. Thank you. My name is Millie Hark. And here's the Mean Girls, of course. This is, a lot of this stuff has happened, very similar, but hey, whatever. In previous stories, it's all universal. Her hair makes her look like a washed up rat, right? Yep, hee hee. And okay, so no, I don't look like that. You do though. Oh god, that was dumb. Hee hee hee. So that was a pretty lame comeback, right? I remember hearing something that Mike Judge said about Beavis and Butthead. Is one of his things is he noticed that people were all portraying these youngsters as being very clever and witty with their insults and comebacks and everything. They were always like spot on, like coming up with stuff. I only wish I could, stuff that we'd never think of in a situation like that. The kids are always sharp and clever, and I agreed. Although I don't want to bring my characters down to Beavis and Butthead level, I thought, a kid, obviously, and also, you can see there's an innocence, and there's an innocence here in this character, not present in some of the meaner characters. And she's just not used to. I imagine she's not used to insulting, but she knows. She knows she's been insulted. I mean, who wants to be called a washed-up rat? So that's really all she's got, and I think that's totally fine. I don't think learning how to make sharp insults is something we ought to aspire to anyway. We ought to learn how to shrug off rude comments and not sink down to their level. And I've told my daughter that. Very much. So this is a brother and sister character. and they're nice. They just kind of happened, you know. I only did I did a little practice character design with my Millie character, and the name I combined the first, you know, old stupid trick of mine that works, I guess. I just took the first name of one character, not coincidentally the one portrayed by Shelley Duvall, and the last name of another character from that movie, and you know, it worked out just fine. Millie Hart, why not? Bambi, just if you want to know. Bambi is inspired by a girl I went to school with briefly, and I'm sure, I don't want to say like names, you know, I don't want to be down on a name. If you're named Bambi, you know, God bless you, but I always just thought Bambi, you know. So I don't know where Bambi is now or what she's up to. I know she came from a family that had a reputation of being pretty hillbilly. And she was in our class, my 5th grade class, and then she was gone. And I always just thought, you know, she did, in that she seems very Southern. Well, Marion feels a lot that way, you know. It's you know, I don't want to use these condescending statements. I don't want to put it down, you know. It's just you might call it a backwater. There is that element of redneckery out there. There is some seediness, and you know, not that necessarily goes hand in hand with Southern culture. You know, they're Southern gentlemen too. Yeah, just, you know, there's not a lot of money in these areas, and maybe just see not as nice of clothes or what have you. You know, I don't know. These are things you find in towns like these, and like I said, I'm not besmirching it or down on anybody from this area, not at all. But yeah, Bambi seemed like someone that could easily be from that area when I was a kid. And wherever she is now, I mean, I hope she's doing all right. She looked like she was going to have a rough, just when I think about it, I always kind of figured she was going to have a pretty rough time, and probably didn't come from the best of circumstances. And I know, you know, like I said, I don't want to be besmirching, but I know a lot of you all are also saying that name, Bambi, you know, so, but like I said, if you're named Bambi, hey, name doesn't make you. But I guess to be fair or unfair or what have you, I'd say if I heard that a person was named Bambi, I would probably dare to assume they're probably pretty Southern, pretty, maybe even a little backwater. But Bambi had a real thick accent, and I sat at the table with 2 other girls, and one of the girls really disliked Bambi for, I thought, kind of unfair reasons, and I liked these 2 other girls a lot. I wanted everyone to get along, so I was nice to Bambi. And one thing that really sticks out in my memory is you know, Bambi even kind of acted a little I guess not as smart as the others, and maybe that's what irritated the one girl so much. And I was just like, you know, I was just thinking, you know, let's give Bambi a break. You know, she's not a bad person. Let's be nice, you know. And so I tried to be nice to her, and I didn't want to get confrontational with the other girl that I was quite fond of, who was not very excited about Bambi. So I keep being nice to her and helping her out. Yeah, this is the thing that sticks out in my mind. I just remember she said one day after I helped her, she said, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name's Lee." She's like, "Lee." And she got out this piece of paper, and she wrote, and I think she sounded it out as she wrote it, or she recited it after she wrote it. She goes, "Lee is my friend," which is what she wrote down, and that made me happy. So yes, Bambi, I am your friend. Yeah, so that's just who I thought of. She had this curly reddish brown hair, freckles, you know, a round little nose, you know. I just thought perfect for a marrying character. And why don't I make her a really nice, kind of simple but very kind. Oh, what's this message? Sorry, everyone. Group chat. Not for me. I said I'll give her a brother that's also very nice. And you're going to have some characters that aren't nice. And that's mostly all I got. Besides that, I'm going for just a creepy town thing. And I guess this will kind of play into like a lot of the other things that have... that I've made over the years. I mean, it's going to be your typical Lee Davis creepy town setup. New girl. I'm pretty excited about it. Yeah, I said I might have adults in this story and tell it from the adults' perspective. Right now, I don't know who, where, when, or why. I think a lot about, the stories that I've been really drawn to, the films for It, Pennywise the Clown and everything, and Stranger Things. I like that where you have just a creepy town, and maybe in some characters exploring the town, maybe some characters could explore outlying towns or just anything. I just want to have another creepy town and not necessarily have a central character, but get into all kinds of characters as they arrive. Right now I think we're going to focus a lot on these three kids, and for now, maybe one more for their group. I think that they'll bump into at school. I think we'll focus a lot on the kids, and I'm going to confess something to you. Whenever I created characters and stories, I always wanted to make them a little bit older than me, and it was this OCD thing. It just, I just wanted to feel like life was still going, like I was not finished, even though I didn't anticipate, battling monsters or anything like that. I said I don't want to do this thing where the only people who are having these adventures are 20-somethings. Or teenagers or something like that, So for a while, I said, I wrote Broken Vein, I think it was. I wrote a couple of, Broken Vein, I think. And I made the character. I was in my late 30s. I made them 40. I said they are now 40 years old, because 40-year-olds can still have adventures. And I still totally stand by that. I just realized, I say, Lee, get your head out of your rear end, write some. And also, I read a lot of Junji Ito, and that just makes me realize, I'm not trying to appeal to a market necessarily. If it opens up a market, that's great. But make sure I'm recording. All is looking good. Sound check. I at least learned one thing when I made that mistake video the other day where I didn't record the actual art. The sound was all right. I love this new laptop. I'm so thrilled. Actually, I should talk about that a little bit. The advantages of having this software. I didn't show you in this, but I already did all my word balloons. I don't have to export and do layout and add word balloons in Photoshop now. I can do it all with Clip Studio Paint, and it is so easy. I'm just so happy. And also I have the higher resolution. This tablet feels very smooth. Just very happy guy right now for art. Like I said, I'm very caught up with art. I got a Door to Death issue 2 done recently, and actually I picked up Door to Death. I will release that first video I did. I did want to share with you my first official page, And what I said about the editing the videos is kind of a pain. Getting the elements all rounded up and doing the editing is, because I recorded off my new laptop, is going to be kind of a pain. So I have not taken the time out to edit that video yet. So, but you'll see it if you're curious. It is coming. But that, yeah, I think I talked a lot about that. But I mean, I've learned even more with this software since then, so that's cool. Gotten to play around a little more with the editing the word balloons. It's so simple. It just makes my life so much easier. And you know, I want to get outside and do some stuff besides comics. You know, more real life stuff, I guess. And I'm glad I can kind of take it easy with these things. And it's just casual comic creation. And that brings me back to what I was saying with how I wanted to tell you all about the genesis of this comic. Well, I think I already touched on that enough. That's what I think. I've got it pretty covered. It's with Webtoons. Junji Ito gives me so many ideas. He's been publishing on the Japanese Webtoons, and I've got the Japanese translation thanks to my great friend Miwa, ready to go. But we're having some difficulties because we cannot publish. I cannot even access. A Western computer cannot access the Japanese Webtoons site. So I have been talking with Miwa about seeing about how she can have them published to the Japanese Webtoons. Oh yeah, but yeah, I finished reading his newest book, The Liminal Zone. At the end, he said, you know, how his comic creating life had changed a bit because he was publishing on Webtoons, where there's not the same page limit as you do when publishing through a magazine. Like Sahi Shimbun is, I think, what he publishes through a huge magazine and book publisher in Japan. And I by the time I read this, I had already published the first issue of Overripe on the the English Webtoons, the app that all my fellow Westerners can get, and incidentally, the second issue is on there too. So check it out. Very happy with the second issue, and I was thinking the one thing I always said about Webtoons is you can publish as many or as few pages as you want. And so I was thinking, I said instead of like opening up another thing that's going to make me obsess over, investing like 5 issues over a period of time, in many cases years, as Overripe has. So why not? Hello. I want to make sure it's capturing. I said, why not a story that could run 1 issue or 2 issue length? And once again, I was looking at the Junji Ito stories. I said, well, he wraps up a nice, tight, solid little horror story in anywhere from 33 to 44 to 66 pages. The equivalent, roughly about the length of 1, 2, 3 comic issues. And I said I'd like to at least do I could do a story and no commitment to anything more than maybe like 2 issues worth, which in the West is like 44 pages. I'm OCD about that. I still like wrapping them up. Completing a chapter with 22 pages. But I said also I don't even have to commit to that right off the bat. I'm going to release this in 3-page installments. So this is my 3rd page, and then it's going up there, and then I can I'll pick it up whenever. do 3 pages here, 3 pages there. And I just love that idea. It's so liberating. You know, as you know, I don't make a ton of money off my comics, and but I love doing them, and just doing stuff that's an investment of a lot of time and energy. Is, wow, you know, I don't want to pile more stuff on me. I mean, I want to do 3 more pages of overwrite. I want to do some more Door to Death. Incidentally, when I did that first page of Door to Death, and then I penciled the second page, and I started inking that, and I think that's included in the video. Yes. And then by the time I got to page 3, I kind of know where I'm going, but it hasn't not formulated itself. I have not connected the dots in my mind, and to be perfectly honest, I just did not have the energy or desire to do it then and there. I said I'm just not in the mood for Door to Death right now, and hence, once more, this was part of the catalyst for taking on this new thing, and just chilling with it. You know, it's Door to Death. Door to Death is still kind of is not. I can't shift gears. I'm very OCD, and going to still do 22-page issues. They'll be released for Kindle, and yeah. So ultimately, I always envisioned Door to Death someday maybe becoming 3 volumes. I really wanted to knock it off my bucket list to get like an actual graphic novel, one I could be proud of. When I started Door to Death years back, and I mean, I just powered through. It took me around a year to do my first one, and then I just picked it up a little. You know, I did one issue a few years back, and then I did another issue about a year ago, and I just started. You know, I had all these extra ideas. I was still kind of in the zone. I started drawing, and what do you know? I got another issue, and now I'm 2 issues away from wrapping the second volume. So I mean, I would like, and I'll celebrate that with like a paperback release that no one will buy. But to hold that in my hand will be exciting. It's just, yeah, I'm not in the Door to Death zone right now. And then I've just done a lot of comics, and I want to take it easy. I really like this idea of just having this kind of open world where I can pick up and revisit. I mean, it's going to be like an ongoing thing. I mean, said, yeah, 3-page installments, but it can go on indefinitely. Even if I feel I've wrapped a full story, you know, I can just start another one with these characters any old time, or just keep one single title and keep it going like that. Whatever I'm in the mood for by the time I actually arrive at about 22 pages of this. And I did say 3 installments. That's not to say, you know, maybe some will be 4 or 5, or maybe just 2, depending on where I'm at mentally with the project at the time when I'm working on whichever chapter. You can see I'm having a lot of fun with like cross-hatching and line work here. And I don't, as you can see, you know, this is relaxed drawing. The flaws are intact. I'm not stressing over keeping all these lines perfect. I never really have, but I'm careful about getting too relaxed. That's the mistake I made with Stagnant Blood Time, besides the other obvious mistake of starting a story that I was going to eventually lose interest in. Maybe I'll pick it up back eventually. I've not been in the mood. It also became an outlet for like a lot of shorts, you know, like 3-page comics, stuff like that were based on my death metal project song lyrics, and that was a lot of fun actually. But the primary story kind of fell flat and died. You know, not to say I'll never pick it back up. It's not like anyone bought the Dagron comic anyway. I had very good intentions of it. It was the project that kind of preceded this, and it's just like, I guess if I'd known about Webtoons at the time. So I ended up really regretting that I didn't give it the same title as my death metal band, Surgically Enhanced Cadaver. But I've already got 2 issues out, and like I'm really uptight about changing a title, whether people buy it or not. I hate the confusion when something is re-released, and an artist says, no, that's all wrong. They go back and change it, and whatever readers there are out there might get confused. I don't think I have to worry about that much. I'm still just, like I said, I'm OCD, so I'm a little hesitant to change the names. I don't know if it's going to get picked back up, and it was really such a good idea. This is just my whatever comic, I do whatever. But now with what I'm doing here with digital publishing on Webtoons, this is so much more appealing. So I feel like it's going to take a back seat to this, and it will probably stay on the shelf indefinitely, or be maybe some parts of it will be resurrected through Webtoons. I don't know. And of course, I still love physical releases. So, just to say it'll never get, maybe there'll be a collection of my shorter work once it gets to a certain point. It's not the main goal, but it's exciting thing. But let's take a look at the full page. Yeah. Now, one thing, I do have some frustrations with this software. Like, this is one thing, I'm dragging the size of, slider, and it's like, it stutters, it's like I start pulling, and it doesn't do anything until, like, I'm way far away. There's another thing, and I think we saw this in a lot of this stuff. Like I said, I kind of forget, but you'll probably see it brought up in my first video, which will have the introduction and everything. Once again, my first video I did with my new software, the official Door to Death. First page of issue 9. That video will come out when I get time to edit it. And yeah, like, okay, these edges here, sometimes they won't register the line. I don't know why. It's like nothing happens. So there's like this little bare buffer zone where if I apply the ink right here, it will not register, even if I bring it all the way out over here. So it's, maybe, and I cannot pinpoint where and why this is happening. Well, let's try it. Like on the last page, when I finished page 2, it was on the bottom right panel. And it seems like something triggers it. Like it's working now, but something might trigger it. It might start happening on this. And it's pretty frustrating. There is a way around it, but it does cost your illustration a little bit, and I don't like that. I was thinking when these mean girls insult this Millie character here, at first I thought it should be like the cliche expected reaction. She should just sit there and look really sad so we can feel sympathy for her. And then I said, no, let me have her talk back. She doesn't want to be a coward. She wants to stand up for herself. She's just not great at doing it. She's almost like too nice of a person to come up with something mean. I got this video silenced in the background, but they were showing like pho, the Vietnamese soup. I love that stuff so much. Oops. Alright, this is another thing. Once again, a lot of this is repeated in the prior video. When you do the magic wand, see, now it's just got it's highlighted all this stuff I don't want, like the whole page basically. You got to go up to this. All right, now here's the somewhat frustrating thing. So now it registers. It gets within these lines and it registers these lines. That's the problem. If I do it down here and I hit it, here's where the window this is the layer I have to draw on. I can't draw on this primary layer, but this one does not register the black line. So I got to highlight here, and then after I've highlighted, I got to go down here to draw. So you get used to it. But if there's a way around that, I'd like to figure it out. And see there, I did it again, because you get into it. That's the thing. I like to fly, you know. Where's the bleed? There's no broken line there, is there? Or did I hit? Okay, no, I hit the black line. Go back down here and fill in there. Got that handled. So fill in is a little tricky, a little annoying. I don't know why exactly, but yeah, I'm not totally satisfied with this profile face. You know, another thing that bothers me is when I start a comic, you know, it's like I'll have a real rough idea, and then I get into kind of how I'm drawing a character, and then I'll get into a more uniform way of doing it. So it's a little frustrating to me when I look back on a comic and, well, you know, let's take for example. So there was my first official illustration in the comic, and then of course later I said, why don't I fill her hair in black instead of do the strokes? You know, I think it'll stay pretty consistent. I'm not, you know, maybe if I fix that chin. Like I said, I'm not. It's just the way I want to approach this comic. You know, I don't want to get too lazy like I did with Stagnant Blood Time. That's something I forgot to mention I'm into. I tried to do the less is more. I tried to do the less is more as I started the comic, and then it's got a smaller chin, I think. And then everything became a little more uniform. The illustrations got a little better. It's like, shoot, so this doesn't look right, because you start off reading, it's kind of sloppy and lazy, and then it just comes together a little bit better. And I think, you know, once again, I just was going about it kind of the wrong way. I feel more confident with where I'm going with this and how I'm doing it. I also, you know, I get so many ideas from the great Junji Ito, and I love how some of the Viz Media books that publish his work will, like, you know, they'll go ahead and just publish some of his stuff in color, like the first several pages. I think that's happened before, probably in the, I forget who released the original Uzumaki all those years ago, what publisher that was, but I think they did the same thing. They'd give you a few color pages at the start of a new volume, like volume 1, 2, and 3. Each one, I believe, had color pages, and the first few pages were color. And so I thought, hey, why don't I do that? And that was a total mistake. Oh no! I just realized, you know, I said the coloring is not really difficult with this. It feels really good. I said there's a. It's just too much time, you know, even for a page or two. I just said I don't feel like doing this. They get the color cover, that'll give them a little, you know, that's what those manga did, you know, what Junji Ito's stories did. They kind of give you a sense of the color, so then you can enjoy the black and white, and the color stays residual in your imagination a little bit. You can look back and just kind of remember how things look colored, and, you know, in your head, colored the rest of the story a little bit. Anyway, cool little trick there. I get it. You know, just coloring pages. Any comic book artist will tell you, it is a lot. And I'm glad I'm doing it with Overripe. I'm so happy with the Overripe story. I couldn't be happier with that comic, I don't think. And tired. Oh, excuse me. And I'm glad I can just kind of show off the potential of a color Lee Davis horror comic there, and so there will always be that. Like I said, things could always change if I ever started getting like a huge readership or making some real good money off my comics. You know, things could change. As far as doing color comics, you know, so if the price was right, but right now, as long as I'm just really not making that kind of money, I just here comes Oreo. Oh no, guys, we might have to wrap up this video. Oreo wants to snuggle. Oh, hey, big guy. Big guy, you gonna let me cut? You want to snuggle? All right, okay. All right, I'm tired anyway. I gotta eat some lunch. Guys, I'm sorry. I've been drowsy. It's just that kind of day. I also like this less is more attempt to making these Lee Davis draws videos. I miss having this spiffy little intro, but I think that's alright, don't you, Oreo? Oh man, yeah. He always likes to park it when it's not convenient. That's right, and then I can't move for a while. The other day, you know how cats knead with their claws? Well, sometimes they'll get my shirt. I'm like, man, I'm gonna mess up my shirt. The other day, he was a little too hiked up on my chest. He's sitting on my belly. He's like hiked up on my chest. He starts kneading, and he overpasses my the collar of my shirt. He's right on my skin kneading. He must have heard me talking about kneading. He's doing it a little bit now, like right on my skin. And I guess I'm just such a nice guy. You know, I just sat there. It was kind of painful. I'm like, I wanted to just stop. So no, he's happy. He's purring. Let's just let him do it. I'll terminate this video. Let me think if there's anything worth sharing. If anyone's watched this, I promise I'll be back when I'm a little more chipper. I'm sorry I'm so drowsy today. I've not been sleeping well. Oh no, and the allergen got in my eye. My eye's gonna light up, and I'm wearing my contacts. That's not good. Oh man, I really hope he doesn't want to sit here too long. I can't do this. My eye lights up. I'm gonna need some drops like real soon, or it's gonna be miserable. I'm gonna be thinking about a title for this. I'll do another one of these hopefully when I'm a little more energetic. We'll have some fun. I love y'all. God bless you, and bye bye.